Let me walk you through what's happening in Minneapolis right now, because this situation is intense and it's turning into a national flashpoint. A few weeks ago, the federal government launched what it's calling the largest immigration enforcement operation in U.S. history in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Hundreds, even thousands of federal agents were sent into neighborhoods as part of a massive immigration crackdown. Officials say it's about enforcing the law and removing undocumented immigrants. But almost immediately, things started going wrong. On January 7th, a 37-year-old Minneapolis resident named Renee Good was shot and killed by a federal immigration agent during one of these operations. Federal authorities claimed the agent acted in self-defense, saying her vehicle posed a threat. But video footage and witness accounts raised serious questions about that explanation, and many locals don't believe the shooting was justified. Her death sparked outrage across the city. Protests erupted almost instantly. Crowds gathered at the scene, streets were blocked, chants filled the air, and people demanded accountability. The tension spread fast. Some schools were even forced to cancel classes as demonstrations grew and police activity intensified. And then it got worse. Just days later, another federal officer shot a man in the leg in North Minneapolis during a separate encounter. Authorities described it as a traffic stop that turned into a struggle. For many residents, this second shooting confirmed their fears that the heavy federal presence was escalating situations instead of calming them. At that point, Minneapolis felt like a powder keg. Federal agents and protesters began clashing more frequently. Tear gas and crowd control measures were used as demonstrations continued. Immigrant communities reported widespread fear, with families afraid to leave their homes, unsure who might be targeted next. Local and state leaders pushed back hard. Minnesota's governor and attorney general publicly called for de-escalation and transparency. Minneapolis officials went a step further and filed a lawsuit against the federal government, arguing that the immigration crackdown was violating civil liberties and destabilizing the city. So right now, Minneapolis is dealing with a massive federal immigration surge, deadly shootings involving federal agents, widespread protests and civil unrest, legal battles between city leaders and the federal government, threats of military involvement. And every day, the situation keeps evolving. People aren't just angry, they're scared. They're asking whether this crackdown is actually making anyone safer, or if it's pushing the country toward another moment of deep division. Then came a move that shocked many people. Former President Donald Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, suggesting that troops could be deployed if local leaders failed to restore order. That statement alone sent shockwaves through the city. For many residents, it felt like the situation was spiraling towards something far more serious. At the heart of all this is a deeper conflict. The federal government says it's enforcing immigration law. Local leaders and residents say the city is being treated like a war zone. One side talks about security and borders. The other talks about fear, civil rights, and lives being lost.